As of this recording, Elbaf is about to get real heated as Luffy is just free low-key, so I was thinking this was the perfect time to drop a tier list as I want to look back on this possible upcoming battle and say, yeah, I was right about these placements. Since who doesn't like gloating about their perfect predictions on One Piece? I mean, basically the whole entire community. So strap in, because this tier list probably has the least amount of bias, and to be honest, I like to toot my own horn and say I'm pretty right when it comes down to power scaling 90% of the time, well 95% of the time, especially when it comes down to One Piece. But before I get into the video, if you guys enjoy content like this, you know what to do, hit that like button and subscribe, as I do post content like this regularly, and to be honest, it's a win-win. You guys show me love and support, and I give it back to you in the form of videos. Whether it's One Piece, other anime, or just fiction in general, in due time I'm covering it, so be there when I go there. But I feel like I've rambled enough. Why don't I jump straight into the video and rank the top 30 strongest characters inside of One Piece. But wait, before I get into the video, I want to go over the rules so you guys know what I'm doing this by. Now the rules for this video are going to be very simple. The first rule is that I'm going to be going from bottom to top, meaning I'm going to be starting off at number 30 and then going to number 1. The second rule is that this list will only include people that are alive, meaning if the person is stated to be dead or inferred to be dead or just dead in any way, then they will not be included on this list. Now there's only going to be one exception to that rule, but aside from that, everybody else that's inferred to be dead, I'm just not going to include them. The third rule is for you to enjoy the video, so why don't we jump straight into the tier list. So to begin, I'm going to go over number 30 to number 20, and then when I'm done listing them all out, I'm then going to explain why they're in that exact spot. Also, yes, I'll be doing this in increments of 10. So to begin the bottom part of this tier list, coming in at number 30, we have Marco. At 29, we have King. At 28, we have Kid. At 27, we have Law. At number 26, we have Sabo. At 25, we have Crocodile. At 24, we have Yamato. 23, Sanji. 22, Zoro. 21, Boa Hancock. And at number 20, we have Scopper Gaban. Now this does go against the grain of what the community usually thinks, but I'm going to break down basically every spot and just explain why they're in the positions they're in. Marco being at number 30 should not be a surprise, as yes, inside of Wano it did look like he was dealing with Queen and King. If we're being honest, he was stat padding. The guy can't do any damage to King. He just can't do it. He can't keep up with King when King is actually going all out, meaning yes, he does land in the number 30 spot. And King is at 29, and it's mainly due to him being a Lunarian. His durability makes it extremely hard for most of the people on this list, but people below him, since the people on this list can obviously deal with him, but his speed, obviously when he turns his flame off, obviously makes him harder to catch, and so people with great observation will be able to deal with him, or just people with just overwhelming strength should be able to deal with him. But if you don't have overwhelming strength, speed, or just some sort of hacks ability that can obviously get around his durability or just get around him himself, then yeah, you're just not really gonna have a good time against King. I like to use King as a skill check character. Like if you can get past King, then you're gonna get into those upper tiers in terms of strength, but if you can't, then yeah, you're just stuck down there. The main thing everybody's going to be pointing towards is Sanji being above Yamato, Crocodile, Sabo, Law, and Kid. Now the reason I have him so high mainly is because he does actually do a few more impressive things than a lot of them do. Now, and I do think that in Elbaf, he is going to show what he has in store, as in the beginning of the arc, he was able to use Ifrit Jambe inside of his base, meaning something has happened to where he should be stronger now. Remember, Sanji needed his exoskeleton and Haki in Wano. Now all he needs is Haki to manage Ifrit Jambe. That should be enough to tell you how strong he's gotten since then. This means that end of Wano full power Sanji should be equal to base Ifrit Jambe Elbaf Sanji. So I can definitely see him being above Kid, Law, Sabo, Crocodile, and Yamato. Now for Law and Kid, the reason I have them below Sabo, Crocodile, and Yamato is because I believe at this point their feats have been kind of overshadowed, and it's kind of been exposed that yes, they do have abilities that are really tough to get around, but their actual stats, I mean, I'd say that Kid's endurance is outstanding, but everything else he kind of doesn't, like, you just don't feel it, especially his speed. Now Law's AP is really great, but I mean, to be honest, everything else, even his speed, yes, he does have teleportation, but to be honest, he needs to be able to react to you, and people that are above him, I do believe could speed blitzing through that or just tank some of the attacks and then get to him. So I just don't see his teleportation or just anything else that he has in his bag being that much of a problem unless he's in a 2v1. Sabo is here because, well, he is a Rev commander, the main one at that, but he just hasn't shown us anything. Really and truthfully, I do believe that Sabo should be way further up on this list, but we just haven't seen a single thing from this guy, and so I can't put him any higher. With Crocodile at 25, it's mainly due to patrol and vibes. Like, let's be honest, a lot of the community do believe that he should be at this spot around here, but he hasn't really shown us much. But we do believe that because Oda did say that he did obviously lowball him and nerf him to hell in Alabasta, he should come back and do something crazy, especially since he's with Cross Guild. So moving to 24, we have Yamato, and I'm gonna be so real with you guys. Yamato, she isn't what we think she is. Now, the reason I say this is because Kaido was holding back. We know it wasn't to the extent that he was holding back on Luffy with, but he was still holding back. And so when you really look at it and realize that even while holding back and fighting down to her level, all she was able to do was just make a mark on him, it really does set in how she isn't that impressive. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. The reason I say this is unimpressive is because people do hype her up way beyond where she should be, meaning in my eyes I do think she's unimpressive. To be honest, she's not unimpressive. She's pretty, you know, I think she's got something going for her. Another thing that I do need to point out is the fact that when she did hit Green Ball, he said ow, that hurt, and then just moved on about his day. I mean, she snuck him as well. That should be enough to tell you that her AP isn't really the greatest, and that is one of the stats that people do think that she has amazing things in. Also her speed, we can't really gauge her speed as Kaido was, well, he was going down to her level. And one thing I do want to add is that I do believe that she should be stronger than 10-10 Luffy, meaning yeah, she should be pretty strong. And so you're probably thinking, why is Sanji above her? Do you want me to say it? I'm going to say it. I do believe that Sanji should be faster and stronger than 10-10 Luffy. Now, this is base 10-10 Luffy. Yamato, in my opinion, is on par or just a little bit stronger, but I do believe that Sanji, I do believe that he does have a double power up in there, so I'm going to factor that in. Don't take that out of my mouth. Don't twist my words, but I do believe that if Sanji does go full power and Elbaf, I do believe that he will show us better things than 10-10 Luffy. And so yeah, unless Yamato shows me some extra stuff that isn't against a holding back Kaido, I don't want to hear it. At number 23 we have Sanji, and I've already explained this spot twice, but I feel like adding on a little bit more as, but Sanji in this arc has gotten like a confirmed upskill since he is going to be greater than this one pirate. And then on top of that, on Egghead, he was kind of moving mad, like obliterating light. So yeah, that's just a few things I did want to throw in there. At number 22 and 21 we have Zoro and Boa Hancock, and these two can be swapped around if you really want to, since Zoro has more confirmed strength on stream and Boa has more potential strength. But I feel like if you were to really delve into Boa's potential strength, she could be top 10. I mean, her Devil Fruit is really busted, and we do know that she does have Conqueror's Haki, meaning the possibility of Advanced Conqueror's Haki is there. I feel like both of them don't need that much of an explanation. They're just there. I mean, Zoro is extremely strong, and obviously Boa was stated if she was able to get through a Blackbeard, she possibly could defeat him. So yeah, we're just gonna keep him there. At number 20 we have Gaban, and he could go up, but I feel like this is a perfect spot for him as he was able to push Zoro and Luffy into their full power states without trying too hard. So with that being said, why don't we segue into number 19 up to number 10. And so at 19 we have Rayleigh, at 18 we have Ben Beckman, at 17 we have Gunko and the rest of the Holy Knights, at 16 we have Green Bull, at 15 we have Fujitora, at 14 we have Garp, at 13 we have Sengoku, at 12 we have Garling and the rest of the Gorosei, at 11 we have Kizaru, and at 10 we have Luffy. Now, unlike 30 to 20, I don't think I need to spend much time here as well. These characters are pretty set in stone with how strong they are. I mean, Rayleigh at 19, I doubt anybody is going to be surprised. In his prime he would be a little bit higher, but well, he is in his prime, he's old. At number 18, young Ben Beckman, and to be honest, I would like to put him a little higher, but he hasn't shown us much, and I feel like this is as far as his patrol is going to get him as well. The characters above him have patrol plus a little bit extra on top, so yeah. At 17 you have Gunko plus the rest of the Holy Knights, and until they reveal all of their strength, I'm just gonna attack them along with her, as she is weaker than Shamrock and Garling, who were and are a part of the Holy Knights, so I'm just going to attack them along with her, since there could be some that are stronger than her, or the rest of them could just be weaker than her. Then obviously I'll just slot them in inside the tier list when we do find out how strong they are. But for now, I'm just going to keep her at this spot as well. Her patrol is pretty great. She's done a thing or two, so yeah, I'm just going to keep her here for the most part. At 16 and 15, we have Fujitora and Green Bull, and although the circumstances they've been in haven't been great, they still obviously do deserve this spot as they are admirals, and I feel like they could go up 2 positions, both of them swapping around with Sengoku and Garp, who are at 13 and 14. But obviously I'm gonna have to wait till then. I'm not just going to go for my pure headcanon at this point, since, well, I mean, although they're top tiers, I'm not trying to do that, as Garp does have some solid feats, and I do believe that Sengoku does scale off of him. And I know a lot of people are going to be looking at, oh, Garp at 14 and Sengoku at 13. Don't worry, I'm going to get into that in a second. Now, there isn't some grand explanation to my thinking. It's just simply that Sengoku has a Devil Fruit and Garp doesn't. This means that obviously in their prime, Garp was able to just match that strength with his raw physical strength, since he's just a beast like that. But as he's said multiple times now, he has lost a lot of his strength, meaning Sengoku having this Devil Fruit does give him an advantage in that scenario and that aspect. So I'm going to say that he's a little bit stronger than Garp due to that. Now at 12, 11 and 10, we have Garland plus the rest of the Gorosei, then we have Kizaru, then we have Luffy. Now I have the Gorosei alongside Garling because I'm going to be real with you guys. Although I do bash them, Oda was holding back with them 100%. I feel like Oda kind of realized that, like, well, if he does let the Gorosei go all out, it's going to be very unfair for the Straw Hats. I see the Gorosei as that step up from the Holy Knights, meaning if the Holy Knights are meant to be that strong, then the Gorosei should be really strong. And with another placement on this list, I'm going to explain why I do believe they're going to be extremely strong when it comes down to the end of the series. But yeah, for now, I'm going to say that they're going to stay here because Oda just held back extremely inside of Egghead. And Garling's here because it's Garling. He's the oldest of the Figureland, and he just got an extra Devil Fruit. And yeah, he's now a Gorosei member, so I do believe that he should be really strong. Now, Kizaru and Luffy being at 10 and 11, let's be real. Their fight on Egghead was basically pointless, but it did show us a few things. Luffy has some real bad stamina issues, and I don't think a single soul should ever contest that point, as it's quite literally known. Kizaru, the person below him, even states that, so I don't think anybody here is going to be like, oh no, he does. No, he literally does have stamina issues. Now Kizaru being at 11 is, well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he was confirmed to be stronger than Garp and Goku inside the Marineford, and yeah, he's just that strong. I doubt anybody's going to contest that point, but I know Luffy is going to be the talking point, so I'm just gonna say this now and put it out there now. When going all out, using his max power inside of Gear 5, I do believe that Luffy can only be contested by 3 people. Aside from that, I do believe that yes, Luffy should be able to beat most of the people above him if he's going all out, and he does have obviously his strongest attack on standby and he just uses it straight away. Nobody's contesting that. I'm sorry, I'm saying that right now. But in a real fight, the people above him can wither his attacks or just do things to get around his attacks, and then they're gonna beat him. That's literally it, and they're just gonna outlast Gear 5 stamina. I'm not saying that Gear 5 isn't a top tier or even top 1 contender. No, I'm just saying that his stamina is what's holding him back. I'm not saying that Luffy is weak in any single way. I'm just saying it's his stamina. That's literally it. That's his main problem and only problem. So there's some people above him that shouldn't even be above him, but the only reason being they're above him is because, as I've said this since the start of Egghead, it's his damn stamina. And so with that being said, I want to move into 9 to 1 so we can end off this tier list. At number 9, we have Kuzan. At number 8, we have Shamrock. At number 7, we have Blackbeard. At number 6, we have Loki. At number 5, we have Shanks. At number 4, we have Mihawk. At number 3, we have Sakazuki. At number 2, we have Dragon. And at number 1, I doubt anybody was even going to be surprised, it's Emu. Now, one thing I'm forever going to say is, from number 9 up to number 2, you can shuffle this around in any way, and to be honest, I really don't see a problem with it. I mean, there are a few placements that I will say you're kind of smoking if you do put a certain person above another person, but I mean, yeah, I'm gonna point out now, Mihawk will always be stronger than Shanks. He's the world's strongest swordsman. I don't care what anybody has to say. It's quite literally in the story. We have seen, listen, Zoro has a goal to be the world's strongest swordsman. I don't care what you think about Shanks. I don't care. I really do not care. He's not stronger than Mihawk. Like, I'm tired of this whole narrative. I'm tired that certain people want to spin this narrative 24/7. It's just not running, my guy. At number 9, we have Kuzan, and usually he'd be a lot higher, but Elbaf has introduced a few new players, so I'm gonna have to put him here. But either way, he is battle tested. He fought Garp while mentally nerfed, and he has fought Sakazuki while going all out. So I mean, yeah, he even fought Whitebeard for a short amount of time. So this guy knows what he's doing in battle. I doubt anybody's going to refuse his position here. So yeah, number 8 we have Shamrock, and I doubt anybody is going to say anything about me putting Shanks' literal brother, twin brother at that, at number 8. He's going to be strong. I mean, he has shown us a little bit. He is able to obviously injure Loki, but that Loki was binded, so I'm not really going to count that. But yeah, no, he should be at this spot, possibly even higher, but for now I'm going to put him at 8. At number 7 we have Blackbeard, and yeah, this guy just needs to show us a little bit more. He does have 2 Devil Fruits with, obviously he has gained experience and him being able to scar Shanks, but he just needs to show us a little bit more for me to then believe in him, to put him a little bit higher. At number 6 we have Loki, and I'm telling you, when Loki is able to get that rest properly and he's able to get fed, he's gonna be an issue. And I mean, Elbaf, a literal warrior race, was scared of him. Gaban couldn't stop him. The only person that had to stop him was Shanks, and we know how powerful Shanks is, and yeah, he's at number 5. We know why Shanks is here. Betrayal and just his overall strength. We just know how strong he is. So, ranking above him, we have Mihawk, the world's strongest swordsman, who is forever going to be above Shanks. Just wanted to add that. Yeah, Mihawk being here, I doubt anybody's going to contest that. Now, number 3, we do have Sakazuki, and people may think that he could drop down. I could see him dropping down. I could see him below Loki or just above Loki. If you really want to do that, I have no qualms about that. I just put him here because he's the fleet admiral, and I do believe that he does warrant the spot, as he is really strong, and I doubt there is really many holes inside of him, unless you watch the anime and you do feel like Whitebeard did beat him, which if you did read the manga, we know that Oda did do things differently. He wasn't bitched owl, he kind of whooped Whitebeard, if we're being for real. But yeah, he is one of the strongest people inside of One Piece, mainly due to his Devil Fruit, and I think he should have conquered Zaki. Don't quote me on it, but I think it is something that is going to be revealed in due time. I want to add, he is one of the only people on this list to have a confirmed win over another top tier, so yeah, he does warrant the spot. At number 2 we have the man that everybody is dying right now, and that's Dragon. Of course Dragon is going to be here, since, well, he is the only Monkey D in their prime, and he's prepping to battle Emu. Now he doesn't know he's fighting Emu himself, or he could be now since Sabo did tell him, but I feel like he is the one that is going to shock everybody. So yeah, I do think Dragon is going to show us some stuff that we're going to be like, wow, okay, this is what a real top tier looks like. And at number 1 we have Emu, and I doubt anybody is surprised. Emu is a straight demon. Now this is where I want to bring in the Gorosei, and the Gorosei could be bumped up because of Emu, since, well, in the painting it does seem like there are people fighting alongside him, and obviously if people fight alongside Emu, they obviously have to be really strong, since Joy Boy's forces were extremely strong as well, but they haven't shown us that. So with that being said, when I wrap up the video, so yeah, I do know that this tier list is going to piss a lot of people off, as people do have their favorites and do believe that some people should be ranked in certain positions, but yeah, I do believe that in due time this tier list will stand the test of time, and we will see people either go up, since I have said for every person that can go up, they can go up, but yeah, I do believe that this will stand the test of time, and yeah, this is probably the right placement for everybody. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you should have put this person here, and I could make a very, very community-based tier list where I put Shanks at 2 and Dragon at 9, and I put Sanji at 30, while I have Marco at like 21 and Zoro at 18 or 16. I don't know, they're just placements that are purely off of emotion. But yeah, no, I do believe that it will stand the test of time, and yeah, this tier list is probably one of the best ones you'll probably see. So with that being said, I love you all, thank you for all the support, and yeah, shall see you guys in the next video. I love you all. Good bye.